Once upon a chilling night, in a small town surrounded by dense woods, stood an old Victorian house with a sinister history. Locals whispered about the tragic events that had befallen the place, claiming it was haunted by vengeful spirits. The house had been vacant for years, its windows boarded up and its grounds overgrown with weeds, as if nature itself wanted to keep intruders away. Intrigued by the haunting tales, a group of adventurous teenagers decided to venture into the house one moonlit evening. Anna, the fearless leader of the group, convinced her friends to join her on this daring escapade. They all gathered at the front gate, hearts pounding with both excitement and trepidation. As they cautiously entered the house, the atmosphere felt suffocating, and a sense of dread washed over them. The air seemed to whisper, and every creak echoed through the empty halls. The group explored each room, uncovering remnants of the past, faded photographs, old toys, and tattered furniture. But as they delved deeper into the house, strange occurrences began to unfold. Objects moved on their own, and chilling drafts swept through closed windows. Unsettling whispers echoed from the shadows, taunting and threatening the trespassers. Each member of the group felt a growing unease, but Anna was determined to unravel the house's mysteries and prove the existence of the supernatural. As the night wore on, they found themselves drawn to the basement. It was a dim and dank space, filled with broken furniture and cobwebs. The temperature plummeted and the group shivered, clutching each other for comfort. Suddenly, a ghostly figure emerged from the darkness. Eur, a woman in a tattered white dress, her eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. Frozen in fear, the teenagers watched as the apparition floated towards them. Anna, unwilling to back down, mustered her courage and asked, "Who are you? What happened here?" The ghostly figure moaned, her voice echoing with sorrow. "I am Emily, and this was once my home. Long ago, my husband murdered me in this very basement, and my spirit has been trapped here ever since." The group listened in horror as Emily revealed the gruesome details of her death. The house had witnessed her tragic fate and absorbed the pain and suffering, turning it into a malevolent force that lingered in the walls. Determined to free Emily's spirit, Anna suggested conducting a séance to communicate with the other side. They gathered in a circle, lit candles, and reached out to the afterlife. The room grew colder as they felt an unseen presence among them. Suddenly, the candles flickered violently, and an invisible force swept through the room, sending chills down their spines. Emily's voice resonated once more, expressing gratitude for their attempt to help her. But she warned them that the malevolent spirit that dwelled in the house was too powerful to be defeated easily. If they didn't leave immediately, they would fall prey to its darkness. Terrified but resolute, Anna and her friends fled from the haunted house, vowing never to return. As they reached the safety of the moonlit night, they heard a bone-chilling scream echo from the house. Weeks passed, and the teenagers tried to forget the horrors they had witnessed. However, strange occurrences began to haunt them even outside the house. Shadows moved on their own, objects vanished and reappeared, and unexplained noises filled their nights. It became clear that the malevolent spirit had attached itself to them, seeking revenge for their intrusion. In their desperation, the group sought the help of a local paranormal investigator. Together, they performed a ritual to cleanse their spirits and break the curse. It was an arduous battle, but they managed to weaken the malevolent force's hold on them. The house, once again abandoned and condemned, continued to stand as a haunting reminder of its dark past. But Anna and her friends had learned a valuable lesson. Some mysteries should remain untouched, and not all spirits are willing to be set free. From that night on, they swore to avoid the house, keeping its malevolence locked within its decaying walls. And so the haunted house became a forbidden tale, a warning whispered among the town's residents to deter any curious souls from wandering into its shadowy depths. In the heart of the Balkans, where folklore and history intertwine, a small village called Drakulovo was nestled amidst the dense forests and mist-covered mountains. The villagers spoke of ancient legends and superstitions, warning outsiders of the malevolent force that haunted their land, the shadow of the Balkans. The tale began with a cursed nobleman, Count Radu, who once ruled the region with an iron fist. He was feared and despised, for he was rumored to have struck a sinister pact with dark entities to gain immense power. His greed and cruelty knew no bounds, and it wasn't long before the villagers rose against him, condemning him to a dreadful fate. As punishment for his wicked deeds, the villagers sealed Count Radu deep within a hidden cave, using an ancient ritual to bind his malevolent spirit to the Balkan soil. Legend had it that every century, the shadow would be released, seeking revenge on the descendants of those who betrayed him. Centuries passed and the tale of the shadow became a cautionary bedtime story. But one fateful autumn, a group of adventurous travelers, drawn by the Balkans' enigmatic allure, stumbled upon Drakulovo. Ignoring the locals' warnings, they set up camp near the cave, unknowingly awakening the long-dormant force. The first signs of the shadow's return were subtle. Eerie whispers in the night, unexplained shadows dancing across the walls, and a lingering sense of dread that followed the travelers wherever they went. As the days passed, the forest seemed to close in around them, and paranoia consumed the group. Among the travelers was Elena, a young and curious woman with a fascination for Balkan folklore. Despite the others' growing unease, she was determined to uncover the truth behind the legends. Her research led her to an old priestess, Baba Mara, the last guardian of the ancient rituals. Baba Mara warned Elena of the grave danger they all faced, urging her to leave before it was too late. But Elena's curiosity got the better of her, and she insisted on facing the shadow, hoping to find a way to break the curse and set Count Radu's spirit free. As the nights grew darker, the shadow's malevolence intensified, manifesting in terrifying forms. The travelers were tormented by nightmares, visions of grotesque creatures, and the haunting echo of Count Radu's sinister laughter. Fear tightened its grip on their hearts, and they realized they were ensnared in a malevolent trap. Elena's determination didn't waver. She delved deeper into the secrets of the region's dark past, seeking clues to the shadow's weakness. The old priestess, moved by Elena's courage, decided to help her decipher the ancient texts and rituals. As the winter solstice approached, the veil between worlds thinned, and the shadow's strength reached its peak. Elena and Baba Mara conducted a ritual to confront the malevolent force, hoping to weaken its grip on the land. In a chilling ceremony beneath the light of the full moon, they chanted incantations passed down through generations. The air grew heavy with tension, and a sinister presence enveloped them. But Elena's resolve was unyielding. She was determined to end the curse and bring peace to the region. The ritual worked, but not as they expected. Instead of weakening the shadow, it grew stronger, lashing out with fury. The travelers were forced to confront the malevolent entity head-on, battling the terrifying manifestations it conjured from their deepest fears. In the midst of the harrowing struggle, Elena remembered an ancient tale about a lost artifact that could break the curse. Desperate, she sought out the relic, the Serpent's Eye, hidden deep within a long-forgotten temple. The Serpent's Eye was said to possess the power to see through illusions and reveal the truth behind the darkness. Armed with the artifact, Elena and the remaining travelers returned to the cave where Count Radu was imprisoned. As they stood before the shadow's manifestation, Elena gazed through the Serpent's Eye, seeing beyond the malevolence. What she witnessed shocked her. The shadow was not the embodiment of evil she had believed it to be. Count Radu's spirit was tormented by guilt and remorse for his past sins. He longed for redemption, and his malevolence was a reflection of his own tortured soul. Moved by the revelation, Elena reached out to him with compassion, offering forgiveness. In that moment, the shadow began to dissipate, and a radiant light enveloped the cave. Count Radu's spirit was finally free, and with his release, the curse that plagued the Balkans for centuries was lifted. The village of Drakulovo became peaceful once more, and the travelers left with a newfound respect for the power of folklore and the consequences of greed and cruelty. Elena, forever changed by her encounter with the shadow, returned to the village periodically, honoring the memory of Count Radu and the lessons he taught her about compassion and forgiveness. And so, the legend of the shadow in the Balkans lived on, not as a tale of fear, but as a reminder of the strength that lies in embracing one's darkness and seeking redemption.